I set up this tree in March of 2023, so it has been growing for 2 seasons now. The initial nails I've put have gone into the thickening trunk, and it's time I address this. This tree has been growing vigorously and I've got to make some choices now. This is the old top of the tree that somehow died back in winter, so I need to place a new one, choosing the next strong branch or what I'd prefer, the third branch, which is twice as long and will get me an apex for the tree much sooner. Now this is the shorter branch, but I'd like to bend this one into place. This is how much the trunk has thickened and almost swallowed the nails, but especially this one is far too inside to be removed, and I'm thinking of risking to leave it in place. If this was a pine, I wouldn't even blink, as pines easily swallow nails like that and continue growing. But junipers have very thin cambium layers, and this nail might cut off branches or even the whole top and kill them before it gets fused. But I am going to risk leaving it in there, and if it succeeds, this nail will keep the tree connected to the deadwood for the rest of its life. First, I put some new nails in to keep the live trunk in place before I remove the old ones. This tree is bended in shape now, but there is always the chance of it separating from the deadwood, so the nails will stay there as long as it takes. all of the upper nails will come off at once, so I can make the new bend. The shorter branch goes in place easily, but I'm going to try and bend the longer one, which is quite thicker at the base and thus much more difficult and dangerous to bend. It looks like it's going to work, so I'm setting the new nails. In here I have a hard bend, but this thicker branch almost makes it seamlessly, and it looks okay, so I'm gonna move on. This is going to be the last nail, as I decided to place the rest of the apex in place with wire. It is looking good, and finally I have some foliage above the deadwood, so now the real fun begins of designing the whole tree and the place where the foliage is going to be. This is the other massive Tanuki juniper I have made, which grew even better this past 2 seasons. I have been asked a few times why don't I carve a channel to put the live tree in, and my answer is that I will carve a channel if I have to, but with these two Tanuki I use the natural groove between the last live vein of the tree and the deadwood, which is more than enough to train and keep the live tree in place, sometimes even without nails. But just in case, I will put a nail in to keep the tree inside the groove for safety against wind gusts and birds. This top will bend down and to the left and will eventually create a foliage pad on here somewhere, and I will make the apex of the tree out of this smaller branch further back, so I will start wiring this tree next summer. This is the tree now, August 2024, and this is a rendering of how I would like it to look like in 8 years. And for that matter, this is how I would like to look in 8 years. Thank you for your time.